This weekend, the newest action comedy starring Jack Quaid comes out, Novacaine. Should you go see it? Let's talk about it. So last Saturday, I got to go to an early screening of Novacaine, and I'm going to kind of give you guys just all of my general thoughts about the movie. There will be a non-spoiler and spoiler side of this video, as there always is. So, you know, kind of based on if you've seen the movie or not, save this video, come back later so you can check out the full review. Let's go. Starting off with some of the non-spoiler stuff. So this movie is obviously marketed as a very action comedy type movie. You know, it's a man who can't feel pain trying to rescue this woman that he, you know, has fallen in love with. And what surprised me most about the film is just how much they lean into that. It's, you know, it's very funny, it's very action filled with cool action things because of him not being able to feel pain, but there's also like a deep thing of him chasing her, and that surprised me of how much they really focused on that. But I did like it. For me, the best part of the movie is Jack Quaid. Ever since his debut in The Boys, well, actually, or even in the original Hunger Games, just progressively, he has become one of my, you know, my new favorite actors. I really liked him in Scream 5, but he just seems like a fun upcoming actor that I'm really just loving to see more and more and more throughout these universes. So I hope we get to see more of him in movies to come. So the whole trope of him not being able to feel pain, they do have actually a pretty cool explanation for it in the movie. It's not just like some it's not like a superpower, I would say, or like something he gets hit with. It's just something he's kind of born with. And the way that they use it throughout the movie is actually pretty well done. I mean, there's also like really weird ways that he I don't really want to spoil it, but a lot of creative uses of his ability is what I'll say. The last thing I'll say is something that actually kind of involves the comedy of this movie. Typically with a lot of movies nowadays, you know, if they save the girl and everything happens, then it's just like happily ever after, right? Well, that does kind of happen in this movie, but the stakes for what happens and like what every character chooses to do is very real, and to me that was like a laughing point. I just thought that like the way that they executed some of the final stuff was funny because they actually brought very real stakes to it. They're like, oh, I'm free to go? Actually, no. Like, I don't know, I just thought it was pretty funny. And now for the spoiler stuff. So the main plot revolves around Jack Quaid, and they have this nickname for him. His name is Novacaine. Well, he suffers from this condition where he cannot feel anything. Now, this doesn't just affect, you know, things being stabbed into him like it's shown in the movie. Quite literally, when he goes on a date with this one girl that he really likes, he like tells her that he can't eat solid foods because like he's afraid he'll swallow his tongue, which just kind of brings in a whole new perspective to like the way he was born. So anyway, he meets this girl, and eventually these thieves try to run in. They end up killing at least one dude, and they kidnap her. And Jack Quaid believes that he's like in love with this woman, and he wants to follow her and rescue her because like nothing or anybody else in his life gives him meaning. Later to come find out that the people that robbed this like credit union where he works at, these people were actually one of them was her brother, because I guess she was like a foster child. One of them's her brother, and I'm almost positive they never like outright confirm it in the movie, but I'm pretty sure that she was the reason that they knew like how to get into the credit union, and that the only reason she was working there was so that they could like rob the place. The movie also stays really well focused, which is a big problem with a lot of these types of movies, but no, this movie has a very clear direction. It follows through. It strays, but only for comedy moments, and then gets right back on track. The movie also finds really cool ways to use his power. The one that like kind of sticks out is in the trailer, there's like a part where his gun ends up in this like fryer. Now, obviously, Novacaine can die, but he can't feel pain. He reaches into the fryer and grabs the gun out and ends up shooting the guy and killing him. I just think that's such a great way to show his powers that like, yeah, it's gonna give you a lot of burns and it's gonna hurt a lot. but if you can't feel pain, I mean, like, it won't kill you. The comedy is pretty good. Again, this is mostly due to Jack Quaid. He just has, for me, a natural talent for acting. He is funny on screen, and he just has one of those faces that, like, it makes me interested in watching a movie. Like, I would see his face and go, oh yeah, now I want to watch this movie. That's the kind of face that he has. Probably the funniest thing about this movie, at least to me, and they kind of really got into this at the very end of the movie, is that this movie has very real consequences. At some point, Jack, I keep calling him Jack Quaid, I forget what his actual name in the movie is, but he steals a cop car to go after this woman that has just been kidnapped, right? And usually in a movie like this, it's like, oh, the police are okay with it, or like they don't really address the consequences of it. At the very end of the movie, they're like, well, being as you did, you know, steal a police vehicle, but like we're gonna have to do something about that, but you also saved a cop, so, you know, like, I'll see what we can do. He ends up having to like have like 6 months of house arrest and like 5 years of probation. And then the girl that he's with, when she in the beginning, she wants to like help her brother that's the thief and like the gang that she's with, but towards the end she like comes full circle and ends up like, you know, being like more of a hero with Jack Quaid, but she still has to pay for what she did, right? So at the very end, it shows them at like a table, and it's just like, oh, like, this is cute, like, they finally got this date, right? And then it zooms out, and you see that they're in a prison, like, you know, where people can come to visit at a prison. And I just love that. I absolutely love that. I think that's so funny that they are giving the characters real-life consequences. I just thought it was funny. Again, the last thing to say is that this movie is just a good movie. I don't think... You know, I know there's a lot of people that say it blew them away. I thought it was just a decent film. I think I have it third best movie of the year, right behind Mickey 17, as that was a movie I really enjoyed. Just, it was weird and quirky, if you want to call it that. But I enjoyed this movie for what it was. It was a fun, cool concept. And I would probably put this on again if I was just like looking for something to watch and wanted like a fun, feel-good kind of movie that I don't really have to pay attention to. So yeah, guys, that is my review for Novacaine. Let me know down in the comments if you plan on seeing this movie opening weekend, or if you're gonna kind of wait to see it. Again, I think it's worth checking out this weekend. If you know you don't really have anything new to check out. But if you like Jack Quaid's other films, you'll probably end up enjoying this too. So let me know what you guys all think about it, and I will see you in the next video, Kernels. Peace.